Welcome to Kill Team Casuals, a podcast all about Kill Team filmed in 3 different time zones by 3 different gents.
Hey friends, Ben here, the only one on the podcast without a cool accent. Just dropping by to say thanks a ton for listening or watching, however you enjoy the podcast. It really does mean a lot to us. And if you are a faithful listener or unfaithful listener, we don't judge, and you're thinking, man, I just can't get enough of these 3 rascally boys and their casual kill team talk. What else can I do to support? Where else can I find these guys? Well, friend, I would point you to the Kill Team Casuals Patreon page. For just a few bucks a month, whatever you wouldn't miss falling out of your pocket, you can get access to the full long-form video podcast, as well as stay up to know, in the know, or all around the know, all up inside the know, if you will, on what's going on, all these Patreon extracurricular activities, this fun stuff. So, and if you want to be a real baller, you can even be a guest on Legions of Rust, the world-famous game show at the very tippy-top tier. And if you want to be the coolest nerd at your local game store, you can check out some sweet Casual Wargamers merch. That's short for merchandise, if you didn't know, at our Teespring shop. It's getting a little too silly. casualwargamers.creator-teespring.com. And as always, we go live most Mondays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Twitch. Thanks so much. I will shut up. Back to the lovely show.
So we were pretty much, most of the rumors were right. So in a lot of ways, I don't think any of us were massively surprised once we saw, for those who may have been under a rock, may have missed it, striking Scorpions, 10 of them versus 10 scouts is at least what's in the box. We're not quite sure.
9 striking Scorpos.
Oh, yes, there we go. I was going to say, so it is confirmed that's the size of the team is actually 9, is it? So 10 in the box, but 9 on the battlefield. And 10 scouts. Yeah,
so pretty good stuff. So the rumors that we all deduced when it's like, ooh, what scouting party will happen here on this Eldari Presence world with their striking whatever it was. So they fed it to us. They gave us a softball. And what do you guys think?
I'm one of those people, I like to think I'm an optimist. I don't want to be one of those people that's negative for the sake of being negative. And maybe it's because there was such a build-up behind it too for so long. We're like, what's it going to be? What are we going to do? And there was rumors of stuff in the skies. There was rumors of things we maybe weren't expecting. I was probably a little undercooked. The main reason was, and I think we may have touched on this in the green room, was the fact that for me, it's 2 kill teams that really are for 40K. That's the thing that gets me.
Straight up.
It is that feeling. I remember watching the reveals and seeing the 10 sculpts, and I was immediately like, oh my God, it's hang on a sec, there's 5 different sculpts done 2 times. And I was like, oh no, it's a 40K team paywalled behind a kill team box. No. And my heart did sink a little bit because it's not a tradition. We're used to seeing these bespoke teams, the classic comms, the classic medic, and it's like, these are made for us. This is a Corsairs team. It's not made for, blooded, that you can get them in, but it's not made for, it's made for us. And it always feels bad getting secondhand gifts, you know what I mean? And that's what it felt like. It felt like a bit like a secondhand gift. And you're like,
a regift, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't want this scarf. In fact, I gave you this scarf 14 years ago. Thanks very much.
I didn't think you'd notice.
Yeah, I write it down, Reese. Buddy, I make notes, meticulous. Yeah, I got receipts for everything.
I think
so. Yeah, it did feel a bit bad.
Yeah, I mean, as someone who does play, 40K like a dirty trader as well, as someone who might want the scouts, or if you're an elder player who wants the striking Scorpions, it just makes really bad competition for this box set. So all of a sudden, it's kill team players fighting against 40K players, for which we always know too, the stock is already pretty low, usually on these releases, at least initially. Scalping, I just feel like it builds a false and bad economy for the box sets, which I really, really makes me sad. I can see this being a lot of people missing out that want it for kill team, because a lot of the 40K people will just be like, blah, 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 and then scalping the other half.
Yeah. I think I agree with you guys. It is especially the striking Scorpions. It's, here you go, guys. It's 10 elves with chainswords. One of them's got a crab claw. Here's a kill team.
That is cool.
Now, it's sort of like Intercession and Phobos, because they said that you can bring in some other aspect warriors to sort of like, support that. So it's not totally brain dead. But it does sort of seem like maybe the Intercession of Eldari, the Eldari Intercession, in a way that you just sort of slot in different aspect warriors. So like what those will be, it'll be interesting to see what those turn out to be. But pretty cool scouts
in the list, and they said it was going to be the Howling Banshees and the Dire Avengers.
Dire Avengers.
Oh, do they really? That checks out.
Yeah, so they said it's going to be Banshees and Dire Avengers, but there will be buffs if, for example, you take all striking scorpions. But when they said that, I instantly just thought there's just going to be 3 separate strat ploys individually impacting your striking scorpions, your Banshees, and your Dire Avengers, and it's going to be like, if they don't already have rending, your Dire Avengers get rending or rerolls. You know what I mean? It's going to be buffs, and that's what they mean. So there'll be 4 or 5 strats, 2 of which, one will be fleet, unless they get that baked in. But you know what I mean? They'll get 2 general ones, and then So yeah. But you were saying about the scouts.
I am pretty interested in scouts. That is one that I last edition of Kill Team, I always wanted to make an all scout team work.
Yeah,
but it just wouldn't. It was just so bad.
I'm going to say this like Compendium Scouts, because that wasn't a bad team.
Last edition of
Compendium Scouts weren't terrible. I ran
Compendium
Scouts.
They weren't terrible.
Yeah. No, I wanted to make them work so bad, and they couldn't. So I'm looking forward to a team that I want to see what they do. I want to see what the rules are. I need a little bit of a break from Legionaries. I still feel pumped on running them. Like, still love them. Had a good time in Tampa, but I just need something to cleanse my palate a little bit. I'm not sure what that's going to be yet. But let's move on. So now, real quick, one good thing: the box set contains 2 kill teams, some cards, tokens, and some scatter terrain. If that is like $100, $120 American, big plus for me.
Yes.
That rules. That's so incredibly awesome.
That'd be good if that comes in as like under £100, so 90 quid, 85 quid. Right, that's the equivalent price. That's still about 4 million Australian dollars.
Dollary dues, yes.
However that works out, I've got a real. You know what? It's so bad. I've got a real worry it's going to come in at 120 quid, and I'm going to be like, because that's. But it can't.
That's pretty rough.
Yeah, it's because realistically, 30 quid for the 2 kill teams, so 60 quid. If they're quite expensive kill teams, 60 quid, and then
which they would be. Even if the average price of it, like a normal one, let's say if you got
that's what I mean.
60 American,
30 quid. They're 30 quid for what you call it. So if it comes in, it's 60 quid for both teams, and then another 30 quid. That's 90 quid, and they've got to put some sort of saving on that. So you got to imagine it's coming in at under 90, like 80, 85. Otherwise,
that would be
there's no saving.
Awesome. Yeah,
we'll see.
So like for people like me, maybe people like you guys, I don't need any more terrain. I have plenty. I have a great local game store, Warpfire Minis. Shout out! Thanks for sending me to the tournament. They have all the terrain you could ever possibly want, right? So just no need. And so if this is affordable, I think it's awesome.
The only thing I was thinking, just with those elder teams, when look at the Ashes of Faith box, yes, they were 2 teams that kind of had extra sets, but obviously Chaos Cults, you still got all 3 sets. You got your mutants, you got your monsters, you got your Dark Commune, and then Inquisition was like, yes, you can add Vet Guard, blah blah blah, but they gave you 2 options in the box,
and they were the rare options as well. They were like, you're not getting Scions, Sisters of Silence is not an often one you see. Veteran players will probably have Vet Guard because they picked up the first set, so you've probably now got 3 options instead of they've given us just Vet Guard. You would have been like, I would have loved if just with the Elder team that if they had a split at 5 and 5, because obviously it's a repeat sprue. I don't see as, it would have been very easy for them to go, here's 5 striking scorpions and 5 banshees, or 5, just one. Doesn't have to be, not expecting 15, but 5 Dire Avengers and 5 scorpions, or 5. I just feel like that would have.
That's a good point.
Because same Phobos was the same. You could do Incursors or Infiltrators in the one kit, and then you could add Reavers yourself. So that's probably the only thing I feel this box set. I think they made some great decisions. I love splitting the terrain. I think it's going to have a good price point. Fingers crossed. I think there's some things probably we're focused just on the negs, but that was probably the big miss for me. Was it's like one team is fine. That's your 10 Marines. That's fun. They'll work really well. But I just feel like for me, the Striking Scorpions, cool models, but just a bit of a miss with, I'm not really looking forward to playing 10 of the same. I don't know how they're going to feel that different, all the models, you know?
Yeah. Maybe equipment can help with that. Like maybe there's some very flavorful equipment, but who knows, man?
It's going to be
Mandy
like
a really odd team.
It's going to be Mandy Blasters 1 EP from Mandy Blaster. I'm hoping it's not that because that's the obvious choice. And if they did that, that'd be so lazy.
Yeah.
I mean, there'd be other stuff. There'll be like photon grenades, pulse grenades, but it'll be like Mandy Blasters for 1 EP instead of just being built in. And if that happens, I'm going to be livid, and they will care. Obviously, they care a lot about how I personally, individually, I feel they care a lot about that. Yep. So,
thanks for watching. The full pod is available where you listen to your podcasts. We stream live on Twitch at Casual Wargamers, and the full video podcast is available now to all tiers of our Patreon. See you next week.